Folks, I was showing the other day about putting the morale on a horse, and to a lot of people this is no big deal, but to me it's one of the 700 pieces of making a horse. And my friend Peter Taylor, Peter up north there, he said that he wanted to have what I've got with my horses. Well, this is one of the parts of the puzzle as far as I'm concerned. There's kind of a point here, and I guess the moral of the story is I want everything to be accomplished without duress or resentment or fear. So I have that opportunity, and if I was riding on 1,000 yearlings and trying to get around them every day, you wouldn't see any of this because you don't take the time. Now, I've been that too, but what I'm telling you is that people that have the time like I do, and you want to do it correctly, well, then just take your time and get to where it's not a traumatic thing for a horse. As you can appreciate, I'm working on hobbling and the morale. Because this is going to happen. It can happen anywhere. When you're traveling, when you're cowboying, and you want them to feel good about it no matter where you're at. And just for you folks that don't understand, the reason we teach this is because it's a lot easier to smash down that piece of canvas and haul it with you, or like on the pack string, than it is to carry a bucket. Halters and buckets are something of the new deal. So anyway, that's how simple it is, but I want you to appreciate the big picture of why this is all needs to happen. It's what makes a gentle horse and an untroubled horse. Now, I don't leave them, and you can always tell when they're done, of course. And most guys that do this every day, they know exactly how long it takes them to eat them. And they can go do something else, or in other words, you don't sell out and go to town. But I just wanted to get the point across that take your time, even how trivial it is, make it to where you're not going to scare the horse. They're going to be fine. And they don't care. Now they're hunting it up. Well, of course, there's grain in it, but they're hunting it up, and they're not worried about anything. So, for my friend Peter, this is kind of the point, the whole picture of going all the way to the bridle horse, as far as I'm concerned. So, thank you. Well, folks, this is part 2 of riding Grasshopper. I had him in my snaffle bit the other day, and his feet were stuck. Okay, moving right along. This is the bridle that the boss rides him in. And so that's what he's going to go home in. And that's what I needed to have him ride in. So what I'd like you to watch today is my left hand. And pay attention to what I do with it. I ride with a flat hand. And that's why the split rein. So that I can help the horse by turning my wrist. That's why I do this. Okay. When I'm working with my snaffle, there is none of this. It's all done off the elbow. So I'm not contradicting anything. I'm just telling you this is how I ride a horse that's transitioning into a half-breed or a western bit. So the problem I was having was all 4 feet were stuck, so I had to get the hindquarter to break loose and the front end to separate. Now the goal of this is not just the hand, but the goal is when you actually move your torso, the horse starts to react. Then it's followed up with your leg. When I first unstick them, I have to start with my leg, and then they listen to my torso. So now it's torso, then leg. When it's all over, all I have to do is make a humble suggestion of check, roll, and ask, and the horse will do it. So I'm going to show you where we're at now on this horse. I'm giving it back because I want him to stand in one place on a loose rein in collection. My spur is moving him. Now I'm doing very little, and now I'm going to do more, and he understands that I want the hindquarter when I shift my weight forward. The front end, I open my shoulder, stepping back and moving. So this is done forward. And I want you to watch my left hand. I have in fact opened my left shoulder. Now I'm going to pick up on the rein, shift the weight to the hindquarter, and ask the forehand to turn sharper. Now I have opened my right shoulder, and my horse is getting a big old country turn on him. So now I'm going to say excuse me with my left hand, roll my calf, and ask the forehand to step over. That is separating the forehand from the hindquarter. Now to add to it, I do all the moves that I'm going to do when I'm working cattle. That's moving the front end while he's walking forward, moving the hindquarter over, and bringing the front end across. Watch the left hand. The left hand is to say, excuse me, and to shift the weight to the hindquarter. Half halt, forehand to the right, while walking. Check, hindquarter over, forehand across. Now I think here's where people get into trouble. And I'll go ahead and call it greedy. When you get the horse in this position where he understands the front from the back, don't speed, don't spin, don't speed it up. Be happy with what you have. Left shoulder, right shoulder. Followed up by my leg. Straight ahead, stop, back, shift my weight, hindquarter, hindquarter. This is done off my spur. Hindquarter, hindquarter, leaving. Because I think you'll remember that when I work cattle, on a perfect day, working cattle in an alleyway or in a corral, I do it walking backwards. I like to work cattle like this. I draw them to me, then I step over and block what I need. Then I step over and let what I want to go by. Now I want to shut the whole thing down so I can do it like this. So I have found over the years that instead of pushing them all and smashing them in the alley, just get them coming and drawn, and then work cattle backwards. Left shoulder. Left hand is quiet. Right shoulder. Rolling the calf. Check. Backing. Move over. Thank you very much. Left hand, please watch. Rolling. Now, if you've got some pus-gutted, cold-jawed, dead-sided dink, if you'll do those two exercises with no contempt in your heart, then you, in fact, can acquire this. Now, the timeline, take a sandwich with you. Thank you.